Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Plantonics Gaming StarCraft 2 UK Cup. I'm Madals and spawning in the south of the semi-final match. We have got the pink Zerg player representing Vega Squadron, JonnyREcco. And his opponent to the north, the red Protoss player who represents FM Esports, none other than Boombox. JonnyREcco, of course, recently moving to Vega Squadron from Core Gaming. Great pickup by Vega Squadron there. JonnyREcco, widely regarded as probably one of the two best players in the UK alongside Dignitas's Bling. Boombox, less well known than perhaps Bling and Rico, but equally a great up and coming player. Posting better and better results pretty much every time he competes in a tournament. Interesting fact, it's the 10th time that he's competed up against Mr. Rico. The score between them, according to Boombox, is currently about 12-2 map score in favour of Rico. So it'll be interesting to see if Boombox is able to continue climbing that. And until their last two series, which were 2-1 for Boombox, it had always been a 2-0. So Boombox getting those two wins against Rico very recently. So not too much really going on at the moment. We do just have the gateway coming out from Boombox, so fairly standard gate expand expected. Rico taking the spawning pool first into a hatchery. So both of these two respecting each other's skills and going for very standard, safe, secure, normal builds at the moment. Of course, that's subject to change at any point. I think if we're going to see either of these two go for funky builds, my money would be on Boombox. JonnyREcco, of course, being very cautious there, checking up to see if there's been some kind of two-gate play, realising perhaps he should have done that momentarily sooner, just to make sure he wasn't about to die. Overlord coming up, and just scout out, see what he can find. Can't see a gateway or a cybercore, which is going to be a little bit confusing for him. Still going to be sitting there thinking, okay, what's happening? What is this strangeness? Two lings come out on the map. Going to be very cautious. Actually, no, it's only just going to two lings. That's okay. A drone, though, coming out as well. He's seriously suspecting some sneaky stuff. Mainly because he didn't see this gas or any of this stuff. He saw a pylon right at the edge here, but doesn't really know what it was for. Nor did Rico actually see the natural base. So Rico's sitting there thinking, okay, what's happening? What's going on? Having not found anything, deduces, okay, this must have been some kind of gate expand of some variety. So I'll just take my third. I'm probably fine. Boombox, he's got his natural base coming through. Rico, not yet scouted it. Could utilise this little bit of high ground in order to get the vision. The downside of using this high ground against Protoss is the Mothership Core, though. The Mothership Core, of course, grants vision of high ground and therefore would allow a Stalker to start chipping away at the Overlord if it were discovered. So Rico still hasn't confirmed the existence of that natural base, nor will he know that the robotics facility is coming through. A lone Zergling, though, trying to make his way up, gets blocked by a Stalker. Nice control there by Boombox, preventing the scout. Also getting his own scout, seeing the fact that, okay, third's been taken relatively early. That was about a 4-minute 20-ish third base, which up against a gateway expand is pretty damn early. Boombox is sitting on two gases, though, so we know that it isn't going to be some kind of big zealot push or something like that, even before we saw the robotics facility. An Immortal Sentry play is still possible. It's still a very potent build that Protoss players can utilise up against Zergs. Rico, though, adding in his Rotron, his his first and second gas, didn't actually take any gas in the main, so two gases coming down at around the 45 supply-ish mark. Keeps everything looking quite healthy. Immortal is on its way now. Two gateways here. The sentry count, non-existent yet, but a warp gate is now morphing in. So that can sign indeed a sentry coming through. This Overlord not getting a scout, and I've got to give a huge amount of credit to Boombox for spreading his production out so far that it makes it incredibly challenging for Rico to get that information about what's actually coming with just the single Overlord sacrifice. So probe dies there. Pylon has been discovered, but two Zealots up against 3 Lings definitely favours the Zealots. However, the Rotoron finished, and as such we may be seeing a good couple of Roaches pumped out fairly soon. Overlord tries to come through, sees that there's a Stalker and a Sentry, but still not enough to deduce effectively what Boombox is doing. More Lings though now coming over. JonnyREcco going to be going for the full surround. Has a decent number of Lings here. Should just win this fight, although it's going to be fairly close. Boombox will now lose that second Zealot. Only 3 Lings remain though, and there should be warp gates off cooldown shortly. I don't think they've warped in anything more as of yet, so could try and defend this. If the Pylon goes down, the lack of proxy could be a problem, but this is definitely an Immortal Sentry all in now from Boombox as he adds in 3 additional gates. Going to be looking to move across the map. Getting out a Warp Prism after the 3rd Immortal, that's going to be important. Especially now since that Proxy Pylon's died. But Rico, about to come and confirm this, moving forward sees more Sentries warp in, and that should really be enough of a giveaway. Cancels the Hydralisk Den that was coming to produce more Roaches and to get Roach speed out too. Hydras are stupidly effective at defending against this push, but they take longer to get out. Rico instead favouring getting just as many units now as he can. Needs to get a couple more Overlords out, otherwise he will have to contend with a small supply block, but there we go. That's all coming nice. More Roaches coming through as well. Rico just pumping all of his money into production, but interestingly Pylon coming down here. Shouldn't be an expansion though, not with what is now 6 gateways and those 3 Immortals. It's a bit too much of a commitment there. Rico moving forward. Sees some of these units, knows roughly where it is. He wants to get the flank if he can. The complete surround would be ideal. And of course, the longer you keep the Protoss army back and not engaging, the longer you have to actually produce more units, get more spines out. So although a couple of Roaches are dying for this, it's buying so much time. It's forcing Boombox to go running out wherever he wants, but also pulling Boombox's army away from these pylons. And by doing that, Rico is buying himself so much time. He's also going to get a couple of free Stalkers, which is always good. He hasn't actually scouted this pylon up to the top left as of yet. Would have been nice to be seen that. It could have taken it down. 3 Roaches also going for the counter attack now. They should be able to pump through, and with no units back at home, that could be frustrating. Rico still keeping his Overlord in a good spot. He's got tons of vision thanks to that creep spread. 3 spines and a good number of Roaches coming forward now. The Immortal getting focused, 2-shotted by that many Roaches. The force fields don't actually manage to trap anything at all there as of yet, and all 3 spines still survive. A 4th spine coming through. A lot of units here. Roaches and Lings coming around the back ready to take out these pylons that have been scouted. Sentries now dying. JonnyREcco looking very strong in defending this. The 4th spine about to finish up. The other 3 still alive. Another spine coming through. Roaches cleaning up quite a lot. In the natural, not any units remaining there. JonnyREcco was able to get 3 worker kills though so far this game. And he's buying himself yet more time. More Lings, more Roaches coming through. Groove Spines also on its way as the Hydralisk Den has now been completed. And Boombox is being forced to pull back. But he is in a tough spot. He's supply blocked now. He's already committed to this play. He doesn't have a 3rd. And Rico, while his drone count isn't crazy high, it's still pretty good. Adding in a lot of spines as well means he's in a very secure spot to defend. And once the Hydralisk hits, that's when it's going to start being incredibly difficult for Boombox to make anything work with his current composition. Unfortunately for Boombox, he lost a decent number of sentries too, currently only sitting at 6. That limits the number of force fields he has, and that's really the skill-based component, or the big skill-based movement that you can make. Is if you get great force fields, maybe you can make something work, but with only a few there, it's going to be tough for that to happen. The Hydras also have the range upgrade, which is going to help them get a better concave, engage more aggressively. In come the Lings. The force fields are quite good, but Ling Hydra, very good against this composition with very few Zealots there. The Zerglings do all get trapped. The force field's very nice by Boombox, but he's only got a handful remaining now. More Lings, more Hydras coming through. Rico correctly identifying that there's not really anything other than these Immortals and Stalkers, so no splash, meaning Ling Hydra very strong. Pull back, counter-attack from Rico now. He's got a lot of Roaches in his opponent's natural base. This counter-attack is going to be so strong because Boombox doesn't have enough here. to break through this many spines and this many units. Has to try and go for it. Sentry's now getting taken down. The force field's limited. Back away. GG is called, and Recco takes game number 1 of this best of 3.